Gaza's lost childhood, the lasting trauma of war on Palestinian children.
The trauma of Gaza's children, a generation in crisis.
The war in Gaza has left an indelible mark on an entire generation of Palestinian children, many of whom have endured unspeakable horrors. The ongoing conflict, displacement, and loss of loved ones have resulted in severe psychological distress, with many children struggling to cope with their trauma. The story of 8-year-old Sama Tubail is a poignant example of the immense suffering experienced by Gaza's youth. Once a carefree child with long hair, Sama now stares at her reflection in sorrow, mourning the loss of her hair due to trauma-induced alopecia. She longs for her past life before October 7, 2023, when war uprooted her family from their home in Jabalia.
The unfolding crisis.
Following the Hamas-led attack on Israel, which resulted in 1,200 Israeli casualties, the Israeli military launched a relentless offensive on Gaza. More than 48,000 Palestinians, primarily women and children, have been killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. The conflict has displaced approximately 1.9 million Palestinians, forcing them into makeshift camps with little access to basic necessities. Even after a temporary ceasefire, resumed violence shattered hopes of stability, with renewed airstrikes inflicting more destruction. Psychological toll on children. UNICEF estimates that nearly all of Gaza's 1.2 million children require psychological support. A study by the War Child Alliance found that 96% of children feared imminent death, while 49% expressed a desire to die due to the constant terror they face. Sama, for example, experienced severe bullying for her hair loss, deepening her sense of isolation and despair. Her words to her mother, "Mama, I'm tired, I want to die," reflect the profound emotional turmoil many Palestinian children endure. Similarly, 7-year-old Anas Abu Ish and his sister Doa were orphaned when an Israeli drone strike killed their parents. Anas recalls finding their lifeless bodies in the street, an event that has left him emotionally scarred. His grandmother, Alabed, notes that he becomes aggressive whenever he sees other children embraced by their mothers, a stark reminder of what he has lost. 6-year-old Manal Jawda's story is equally harrowing. She was trapped under rubble after her home was bombed, feeling sand fill her mouth as she cried for help. Survivors like her face long-term psychological effects, with experts warning that without proper mental health interventions, their trauma may become a lifelong burden. Mental health challenges in Gaza. The Gaza Community Mental Health Program, GCMHP, has been working tirelessly to provide support, despite its own staff being displaced and traumatized. One of their techniques, drawing therapy, helps children express emotions they struggle to articulate. However, the overwhelming scale of need far exceeds available resources. GCMHP Director Dr. Yasser Abu Jamie highlights the immense challenge of addressing trauma in a region where daily survival takes precedence over mental health care. Hopes for recovery amidst uncertainty. Experts believe that while Palestinian children may never fully recover from the war's impact, targeted mental health support can help them regain a sense of normalcy. Israeli psychologist Edna Foe remains cautiously optimistic, noting that while children like Anas and Doa are deeply affected, their ability to interact with others is a positive sign. However, continued instability makes healing difficult. Sama, despite holding on to hope, remains distressed about her hair loss, feeling that she cannot reclaim her identity without it. "My friends have hair, and I don't," she laments, underscoring the deep emotional wounds that persist even when the bombs stop falling. As the war drags on, the future of Gaza's children remains uncertain. With homes destroyed, families shattered, and psychological scars deepening, an entire generation is growing up under the shadow of war, their childhood stolen by violence and displacement. Addressing their trauma is not just a humanitarian imperative, it is crucial for the future of Gaza itself.